Like, what makes people like feel like they have to be like better than people? Because it's not just religion. It's like, I think that's the whole reason why people are like, I want to be the best at this sport.
Yeah.
Because like they want glory, or people think like, I want to be the best businessman or make the most money, like fill in the blank. Like I want to have the most females, or like I want to be the biggest misogynist in the world. Not me, but like Andrew. But it's like, what causes, if Jesus was the creator of all things and came into the world and didn't have to do that, what makes us then like, all right, I gotta flex.
You gotta be successful in some way.
Yeah.
Right. I think especially because you're in business, what do you think on that? Like, where do you think that comes from?
So people's desires in business and to have a successful business, I feel like it's just a game of comparison. Yeah. It's just, what do I have that you don't have, or what do you have that I don't have that I want? I actually heard a statistic recently that the wealthiest people, the people who desire the most amount of wealth, are the people born into wealthy areas and wealthy families, because they're constantly comparing themselves to their neighbors, to their friends, fathers who grew up wealthy, thinking that they always need more because they're not close to their friends who have the most.
I see what you're saying.
So it's just a game of comparison, and I'm better than you.
I also think it probably comes from, even though we kind of see, in a way you understand abundance is a real thing, I do believe it kind of comes from a scarcity mindset, or just a subconscious understanding that in order for one person to win, another person has to lose. And so you have to either be the first to the punch, or you have to be able to take the scraps, right? Because if I go in a room, it's, you know, those machines that like they're in certain arcades, they'll like blow money and you have to grab as much as possible.
Yeah.
Let's say it starts with a certain definite amount of money. If I go first, I can grab as much money as I want. If you go after me, you can only grab as much money as you want from what I've left.
Yes.
Right? And so if I want to be like the most successful person, it's coming from a place of, if I don't get there, somebody else will, and then I have to deal with what's left. Right? Like Jeff Bezos has X amount of $100 billion. So now everybody else, whether it's Elon, everybody else has to deal with what's left. And it's just kind of how it is. There's only a certain amount of money, even though we print money all the time, there's only a certain amount of money, and you have to decide whether you're going to get X or X. You know, and that comes from, am I going to try to be the best person and grow the biggest company to get the most market share? Or do I kind of stay at a place where maybe I'm okay with it? But then it goes to the saying of like, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
And if you're in a sector where you have a business, but it's not growing, and you're just kind of like, well, we make enough money and we're doing good and we keep our sales where they are, at some point somebody else is going to come into your market, take more market share, and now all of a sudden that like, we're doing okay. When it went from 10% of the market, it goes down to like 5%. You know?
But I feel like at some point, like, there has to be at some point where you can just be content with, I'm giving my best and like this is life.
Yeah.
And it's not that you're like not trying. Like it's not like you're having idle hands. It's not that you're being lazy. It's you're giving your best to like what's in your life and your job and your career, but you're content with like, this is what I have. Or like if you don't, I feel like it leads to this level of like constant insecurity. Constant like the comparison thing you're talking about, like what don't I have that they do, like constant like demeaning of self. And it's like there are tons of people who have tons of money and they get everything they want and they're like, I'm not happy. It's like there's a Will Smith video where he's saying like I wish everyone could experience being able to buy whatever you want and go wherever you want, so they can realize like you're still just as sad, or something like that. And it's like, why are all these people with tons of money like, it's not worth it?
Well, maybe that's because they put their energy into the wrong thing. So sometimes I think a lot of people always like to go with the whole, there's like two philosophies, right? There's like, I'd rather cry in a Ferrari than cry in a Toyota Camry. Okay, that's cool. That's a cool philosophy, right? And then there's the philosophy that's like, oh yeah, you can make all the money in the world, but that doesn't make you happy. And God says that the meek will inherit, things like that. And I think there is a balance, right? Yeah. You should definitely not be the person to go, I don't need to be rich. I can just be okay. You should definitely have a drive to want to be successful at whatever you're doing. And being successful means you're probably going to be able to make a decent amount of money. But in a lot of those cases where we see people, who get really rich, but they're suicidal, they're sad, drugs, like, whatever, I think it comes from a fact that they chase that at the expense of everything else. You can definitely chase success and still be able to have a balance in life.
Yeah.
But if you chase it too much, that you're just saying, I just want to be the best musician, the best artist, the best businessman, you get there, but you get there because you ignored the fact that you were waking up and you kept coughing, and all of a sudden that turned out to be this health thing that you have to deal with for the next year. Or your girlfriend was like, oh, can we hang out today? And you kept saying, no, I got to focus on this. And then all of a sudden, 2 years down, your girl's like, oh, I don't think I get enough attention from you. We're going to have to break up. Or like you didn't hang out with your parents, and all of a sudden your parents are getting older and you can't even see them anymore like how you want to. And then all of a sudden now all the other things in life start like slapping you straight in the face like, oh, you literally ignored me. You know?
Yeah.
I think there's levels of contentment. Like you can be content in one field. So
100%.
like there's health, wealth, relationships. You can have like an immense amount of wealth, and you can be content with the amount of wealth you have hit compared to the people around you. And you can say, okay, I have enough because now I have a Ferrari. I can do whatever I want. I have financial freedom. But then you realize how much you've neglected in the past. But then I think there's this second version of contentment, which is overall, which is I'm working on my business every day. I have a beautiful wife or beautiful family. I get to hang out with my friends, and I'm making money, and I want to live this life every day, even though I'm still content with what I have now. So I think that's the two different versions of being content. One being comparing yourself, and one just being happy with who you actually are. And I feel like the people who achieve material success, you can see when they're lacking the other version because they always want more because they never get overall contentment.